We have an inside, we have a popper, and we have a hybrid popper post scorer with still 99 rebound. We got 3 center builds for you, man. No intro needed, just drop a like. 7 foot, looks like a nice sweet spot again, just like 2K24, but obviously we'll have to see once we actually start playing online. Maybe the bigger builds, depending on how the mashing is, but I think 7 foot looks like a good sweet spot. 93 pass act, you get the Hall of Fame break starter. I'm looking at this as more of a 5v5 type of center build, not for like threes in the park, you know, usually want a smaller one, but 99 rebound for the legend rebound chaser, 91 strength for the gold brick wall. Now with the vertical, obviously you want to go as high as you possibly can because it does help with, I think, getting rebounds and jumping higher and all that. But to get the pro and elite big man contact dunks, the spreadsheet they gave us said you only need 70 vertical. So, you know, we're giving it a little bit more to help with the rebounding and all that, but we're not going to go too high and sacrifice other areas. 90 standing dunk, gold rise up, you know, pretty similar to what we were looking at last year. And on an inside, I feel like you gotta go and you gotta get the driving. Otherwise, it's kind of like, what are you really offering that a popper isn't? So 89 driving dunk is going to get you pro contacts off 1 and 2 feet, but for that you need 78 vertical. So we put the vertical up by 3 to unlock the driving contact dunks as well. 78 block. We have to see how the paint defense ends up, but that's going to get you the bronze anchor and all that. 66 speed, decent little sweet spot. You see we get the gold pogo stick and silver chase down because now we have the speed, vertical, and the block. 70 steal, so you get bronze interceptor. You know, you only need 60 for bronze, but I feel like the more steal, the better when it comes to lanes, and I feel like that's how it was on 24. And what we've seen on gameplay in 25, the lanes look pretty, it looks like you could hawk some lanes, so I feel like get that steal on your center, you already got the long arms. We're gonna put our free throw up as much as possible before our shooting starts to go up, so that's gonna be a 64 free throw. Otherwise, you're wasting too many attributes because you're starting to upgrade your mid-range and whatnot. Put the speed to 68. I think this is a solid starting spot for an inside center. You could tweak it a little bit, but for the most part, in terms of wanting to have that balance of the legend rebound chaser, which I think in 5v5, if you're a center, you're going to want to have. Having the driving dunk, the standing dunk, you see we're able to put our driving layup up to a 70 to get the bronze physical finisher. I think this is, you know, a Hall of Fame break starter. I think this is a good starting point for a template for an inside. But I do like the way poppers look this year. Okay, so we're going to take our driving dunk down, take our driving layup down, and just by doing that, we're still going to keep the Hall of Fame break starter, don't worry. Keeping the Hall of Fame break starter, keeping the 99 rebound. Obviously, we sacrificed the layup and the driving dunk, but with that, we're able to get the 74 3 ball, and then the 78 mid-range is going to get us that set shot specialist on silver. So I think for a popper in 5v5, obviously we got to see how the online gameplay feels, but I feel like this is a solid starting point for somebody who's trying to make a popper. Like, this has the legend rebound chaser, the Hoff break starter, like we said. You're still able to steal lanes and all that, and you add in decent badges with that mid range, and you're getting as high of a 3 ball as possible while keeping max wingspan. Obviously, it depends on jump shot bases and all that. Now, the last one I want to show you guys is kind of like a hybrid. Because there's no jab step, I think post control might be the way to create space in the paint. So you see I'm kind of tinkering around here just to kind of see, you know, your close shot this year goes up a lot more than last year when you start to upgrade attributes. Even on the guard builds, you guys have probably seen, like, people have like 70, 80 close shot because it's just tied to so many other things. So I was like, okay, how can I make this work, right? I still want the 90 standing dunk, but if we're going to get some post control to be able to create space, I don't want to lose out on all the other things the center needs, right? So that 91 strength is for the gold brick wall. I want to keep kind of the solid base of what I had for the inside and the popper, but add post control to it so that you're a little bit more of a threat offensively, all right? Because there's no jab step to create space in the paint anymore, as you guys probably know if you watch the gameplay breakdown that I posted. So you're gonna need something else to go to as a center if you wanna be able to mash down there. Maybe we'll find some other ways, but one thing I found with this is in order to do this, I had to give up the Hoff break starter in order to get post control to a point where I felt like it was actually valuable. you know, as you move these attributes around, we're already 96 overall. And I was like, man, I'm looking at them like, I don't want to sacrifice my rebound. I don't want to sacrifice my block, my steal. I already have somewhat low interior. I mean, I am 7 feet tall, so we'll see how that kind of all plays out. If you know, 70 something interior is viable. But right here, I'm trying to look at, like, what can I sacrifice to get that post control where it needs to go? And really the only thing I think I could was the pass act. So I dropped this down to get the gold break starter. We don't know what level break starter is going to be necessary. Like, imagine legend break starter. Like, what is that going to be like, you know? But by going to the gold break starter, it'll allow me to get my post control into the 80s here. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, now I got silver post badges, so that's gonna help, you know, with the drop steps and the spins if I want to be able to try to get deeper position to mash. Is there any way I could get this a little bit higher? And I'm looking at, like, what can I tinker with? The only thing really is agility and speed, because it's not super vital on a center. You don't want to be a slug. So as I said, you only need 70 vertical for the pro and the elite big man standing dunk. So I dropped my vertical down to 74. Obviously vertical does help with the rebounds, but it allowed me to get the 85 post control. Getting to that 85 post control gave us the gold post powerhouse, which helps with drop steps. So I feel like that might take the place of the jab steps not being in there this year. I feel like for a hybrid of a popper inside and having that post control, this is a decent template for y'all to start out with, and then obviously tweak it to your liking, as I always say. So I just showed you the hybrid option with the shooting and the post control and the rebounding with the break starter and all that. But these two options here with the pure inside and then the popper, these are meant for 5v5 scenarios, and I know some people probably think the 99 O board is overkill, but I just think it's super valuable, just like it was in 2K24 to have that 99 rebound. And this year, who knows? I mean, we'll have to see the power of legend badges, but it could be extreme. You know, if you could save your team as a center if you get a couple crazy snag animations and you get your team a couple extra possessions, and having that 99, whether you're a popper or an inside, I think is very, very valuable. We'll have to see in terms of the interior and the block rating if bronze is enough this year. We might need to crank that up, but we won't know until we start playing the game. But in terms of competitive 5v5 play, bronze was more than enough in 2K24. So we'll have to see. Like I said, once we start playing the game, maybe we'll need silver, gold, or we'll have to crank that up a little bit. But I love how that has the 70 steel on both of the builds, the long arms. On the popper, having those the higher midi to get some better jump shot bases and some better badges. I think overall this is a brilliant template to start with. Tweak it to your liking. That's what I always say, because the build has to fit your play style. If you want that post control, scroll back in the video to see that little hybrid version of the build that I made. But I think these two templates for the inside and the popper are two of the best templates you're going to find from Community Day for a good competitive center build in NBA 2K25. But if y'all want to check out the My Player Builder breakdown, that video right there has everything you need to know about crafting your perfect My Player on day one of NBA 2K25. Go check it out.